morning.
Good morning, everyone.
Welcome to our Chakra Insight. We are this is going to be number 26.
Yes, halfway through the year.
Halfway through the year.
Through our chakra year.
Yeah, right, our chakra year.
Yeah.
So we're gonna pick our new insight in a few minutes, but we wanted to talk a little bit more about our journey and the solar plexus chakra last week through our power of choice. And for me, what I noticed is that when I make choices, sometimes I go back and think about the choices that I made in the past. So rather than making a choice and moving on, I will focus on choices that I've already made and ruminate on those, and then not be present for current choices that I could make in the present moment. So I get caught up in the past, thinking about things I wish I had done differently. So when I noticed that this week, I would choose to come back to the present moment and then take into account whatever was happening right then, rather than ruminating over and over again. So that was a big awareness for me, and that's just one of the patterns that I noticed within myself. Mm-hmm. So probably some people might do that more or less, but it was a good thing for me to notice.
Mm-hmm. That's great. Rebecca and I were talking about before we started the video that we're both overthinkers. Mm-hmm. So I as well, for this week, was ruminating on some difficult choices that I've made in regards to relationship with people, and I can get stuck on this loop of being frustrated that I had to make certain choices, the difficult choices, recognizing that, why did it even have to go to that point? So what I decided to do was remind myself that these are the choices that I made. No one made them for me. I had to make the choices for myself that served myself best, that were healthiest for me and for my life. And then instead of overthinking it, I kind of gave gratitude and noticed where I am in this moment after these choices were made. Looking at it from, okay, how is my life now that I had to make these tough choices in regards to relationships? So if my life is now more peaceful, then you know what, maybe that was a good choice for me, and just giving gratitude that I made that choice. And then recognizing if I felt like my life had become more chaotic from a choice that I made in relationship, then maybe I need to step back and make a different choice. And just recognizing you can always go back and make a different choice. And in regards to relationship, if the other person that's on the other end of your choice has decided this is it, you've already made that choice, we can't go back, then in essence you probably made the right choice if they're not open to allowing your mind to change. Because that, I think that's one of the things that's most difficult about choices. We all tend to think, I made a choice, that's it, got to move on. Well, you can always go back. You can always change your mind about things. It doesn't mean that when you move on and you make a different choice, things can just magically go back to the way they were before. But you can at least give gratitude for the fact that, okay, we're in this different place now, and it's okay. Or, you know what, I made this choice and things are different now, and if I need to redirect, then I redirect. So just reminding myself that you made these choices, no one made them for you. It's difficult. Mm-hmm. Of course, you want to overthink it, mm-hmm. but you just be thankful that you could make that choice, that you were able to. Because there's lots of things where we can get drawn into thinking that we don't have power over our own choices.
Mm-hmm. Right, and power is the ability to create change. So we are hardwired to want to be powerful, to have the ability to make change in our lives, change in the world. So when we recognize that we do have that power, even if the smallest little shift, like what we are focusing on, or taking a deeper breath. Like even the smallest little change can help us to feel more empowered. Because when we feel like we don't have any choices, then that's when we begin to act out of fear, because we feel like we need to change something. So we might make a choice that is not necessarily in our best interest.
Right.
So bringing that conscious awareness to our power to choose, that is a really important tool for us on our journey here.
Mm-hmm.
So
absolutely.
So we'll keep doing that. And one thing that I said in last week's video that I kept reminding myself is that we're always, even if we make a choice that we don't like, if whatever it is that we make a choice and it doesn't seem to be working out the way that we want it to, we're always going to be rerouted. So it's not like once we make a choice, that's it, it's over, it's done. Like Shannon was saying, we're always going to be guided back once we recognize that we do have that power, and that the life is always guiding us back to our highest good.
Mm-hmm. So. And one thing we tend to forget about is even when we find ourselves in a situation where we didn't choose to be in, or we didn't ultimately make the choices, we always get to choose how we respond to life, how we respond to the situation. How are we reactive, or are we consciously responsive? So at least there, even if you feel powerless in a situation where you are stuck, where you didn't choose to be where you are, you can choose your words, your actions, and also how you think about the situation. So there's always some sense of choice in our life.
Exactly.
Yes.
So now let's choose our new
yes,
our card.
Mm-hmm.
So this week, am I choosing, or
I don't know. Do you want to choose, or would you like to choose to read? What is your choice, Rebecca?
I'm gonna choose the card, and then Shannon can read.
Sure.
All right. So let's see where we need to go. It feels like this one. Oh, this one seems perfect. So we got the heart chakra again, and this card is forgiveness, letting go, healing, growth, and compassion. And you can see the picture on the card.
Mm-hmm. Let go of unresolved grief and blame toward yourself and others. The path of freedom awaits. Card story. Clouds part and a rainbow emerges, marking a moment of energetic celebration as a young woman releases a past grievance and sends a wish into the world. Dandelion seeds spiral through the breeze, each carrying a spark of new life force potential. From this one single exhale, 1,000 positive wishes circle to the earth, bringing forth a garden of fresh growth possibility. Forgiveness. The card message. It's time to let go of unresolved grief and blame toward yourself and others. When we cling to pain and grievance, we create blockages in our heart that dampen our energy and experience. Even if we believe we are justified in holding back forgiveness, in the end we are the ones who suffer the most. Like a fragile wound freshly cleaned, when we release old anger and resentment, we may at first feel raw and vulnerable. It is here in our vulnerability that we are wide open and sensitive enough to truly allow healing to begin. In this letting go, there is a strength and lightness of being that has the power to transform. This card is an invitation to allow the energy of forgiveness to move through you. If you have not had the chance to fully express your grief or anger, you may wish to write down your feelings, cry, or even yell if you need to. Express what comes up for you and then be willing to let it go. Whatever it does not need to define who you are, nor does it deserve to burden your heart any longer. Look at what you have learned and how you have grown from your experience. See the situation, yourself and others with compassion and empathy. Recognize that we are all human and that mistakes actually lead to our growth and better understanding of each other. Look for the positive. Forgiveness does not mean that you agree with whatever has occurred. It just means that you choose to accept things as they are and realize that they are now in the past. Be grateful for the new understanding and perspective you have on things. Trust and allow all of life's imperfections, including your own, to be released into the breeze, where they may spiral their way lightly back to the earth. Set yourself free through forgiveness. Oh, this is a good one.
Mm-hmm.
So a funny story is I have this exact card chakra deck at home. And last year when I was working on the chakras on my own, I would pull one each day, and then I would pull one to keep for the month as well. And I cannot tell you how many times I got this card. Clearly I have some work to do with forgiveness. So this is a really good one. And I think it's good that we've gone through a good portion of the deck before we get to this one, because I think there's probably quite a few of us that we have something weighing on our heart, and it feels more familiar and easier to hold on to it and hold on to the anger than to release it. Because like the book said, oftentimes we think that if we forgive someone for something they've done to us or something they've said to us, it means that we are accepting of their behavior. And that is not what it is. It's simply releasing you from the prison of holding on to that poison inside of you. It doesn't mean that what they've done or what they've said is okay. It just means that you're not going to hold on to it anymore. So this is a really good one.
Yes, and forgiveness is a choice.
It is a choice.
It is a choice, and so sometimes it's a really hard choice to make, especially for ourselves, like I was talking about before, looking back in the past and wishing that I had done things differently, making different choices. When we bring forgiveness to ourselves, we accept what we've done in the past, and then we can be conscious and move forward. Mm-hmm. So forgiveness is a huge step along our journey of opening our hearts, so we can be forgiving of ourselves, and then because we can't be forgiving of other people if we're not forgiving of ourselves. So we practice that first, forgiving ourselves for letting go of the past. Maybe we didn't like that choice, maybe we would never choose that again, but we can still move forward. So when we trust ourselves and allow ourselves to be human, then we can open our hearts a little bit more and more.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yes.
Yay. This is going to be a good week.
Yes.
So we had our chakra card collage art on Saturday, and it was a lot of fun. So stay tuned, because we will definitely do another one. We had a lot of fun, but it was hard to get to all of it. So next time we may break it up so that we have a chance, because what was a lot of fun about it too is we had the choice to choose the words that most resonated with us for each chakra, and find those words, find those colors, find the shades of those colors, and pick them out for magazines so we could make our own chakra cards. Mm-hmm. So, and it's a lot of fun, because then you get to sit in community and talk about the chakras, talk about things that, resonate with you with certain ones and how they affect your life. So we'd love to have more of you come and join us next time.
Yes. It combines so many of my favorite things.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
It was a great time.
Yes.
All right, so this week we will focus on opening our hearts and taking our awareness to where, if there's any places where we could bring more forgiveness to ourselves, where we can really soften and open our hearts, making that choice.
Yes.
So we'll have a lovely week ahead, and we'll see you throughout the week.
Yep. Have a great day.
Yes. Namaste.
Namaste.